Hello, my name is Amy and welcome to your class number 3 in this beginner series. Welcome back. Hope you're feeling good in your body and ready to get started with today's practice. So today we're going to start in a simple, easy cross-legged seat. You can either sit up in a chair, sit up on a pillow or a blanket, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And today we're going to arrive here by just noticing our breath for a few moments. And just simply notice it. Don't try to change it. You can close your eyes if that helps. You can keep them open if that's better. Just notice for today, is your breath shallow? Is it deep? Is it fast? Is it slow? Just notice and don't try to change it. And while you're noticing that, excuse me, I'd like to start today's class with a quote by Lao Tzu. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So we're all on this journey together. I'm beginning my yoga teacher training or yoga teacher career. You're beginning your yoga journey. And so together we're starting this long journey with a few simple steps. And so the first few videos have been your first few steps. And this video is continuing on in those steps. So I thought that was a good quote for today's class. So let's just, again, notice our breath a little bit longer. Just see where you're at. And also, while you're noticing your breath, feel where your body is today. How are you feeling today? Are you excited about today's class? What are you feeling? How's the body feeling? Notice, keep that throughout today's class. Notice what your body wants, what it needs. If you need to back off, if you need to skip a pose, if you need to try a pose out, just really listen, because I'm going to guide you through the class, but only you know your body. So you have to listen to what your body is telling you today. All right, so we're going to start seated, and we're going to start with doing just some moving twists. So you're going to take your left hand to your right knee, and then your right arm is going to come out, and when you inhale, you're going to open up to the right as much as you'd like to. And then exhale and bring your right hand to meet your left. We're going to repeat that a few times on this side. So inhale, open up to the right. Exhale, bring it back down. 3 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back down. 2 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it down. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're going to go to the other side. Take your right hand to your left knee. Left hand on top of your right. And now we're going to inhale and open up to the left. Exhale, bring your left hand to meet your right. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, open up to the left. Exhale, bring it down. 1 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it down. Nice. From here, switch across of your legs. And if you would like, you can again sit up on a pillow or a blanket. That helps with your tilt. I'll turn to the side so you can see this from the side. So what you're trying to do is sit up on your sitting bones so that you're trying not to do this. You're trying to get up on the sitting bones. And this is where a lot of beginners or even just people in general, you may need something underneath of your seat. So feel free to prop that up if you need to. And it is a little windy here today. I'll just warn you, there are probably going to be some things flying down, leaves and maybe small branches, hopefully nothing big. So just as a warning. So from here, if you are really, really, really rounded in your back, then you're going to stay upright and do your best to straighten that back and sit tall up in your seat. If you're a little bit more, you're not rounded and you're sitting rather tall, we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold forward any amount, bringing your hands down to the mat, but keeping your hip bones, your hips grounded into the mat, because when you do this, you tend to want to go with it. Your hips want to go with you, but you want to keep those down. That's going to help open them up more. So you come down the amount that is good for you, and we're going to rest here for just a couple of breaths on your own, at your own pace. And really just feel into that. Feel into your hips. See what you're noticing in this opening. Couple deep in and out breaths through your nose or through your mouth, depending. I know allergy season is in the fall, especially in the Midwest, is big for people. So if you can't breathe through your nose, your mouth is fine. One more deep breath in. And exhale that out, let it go. And slowly walk your way back up. We're going to switch the cross of our legs. And we're going to do that same pose with our legs crossed the other way. So now, in this case, my left is in front of my right leg, as such. Okay, and from here, inhale, get tall. If you're rounded in the back, stay here. If you're more upright, exhale and fold forward any amount, taking a few deep breaths in and out. And really keeping the hips grounded into the mat. I got a leaf in my hair. Just breathe in and out, noticing how your hips feel. Do you feel that sensation? Feel that stretch. One more inhale. Exhale, let that go. Walk your hands back up and come back up to upright. And from here, we're going to stand up into mountain pose. I'm going to put my hair back for this one. First, now we're going to start flowing a little bit. So from mountain pose, we're going to do a little shoulder opener. And this is where you may need your strap if you have tight shoulders. And I'll show it without the strap, and then I'll show it with the strap. So what we're going to do is in mountain pose, remember we're going to stand with our feet grounded into the mat. And you're going to take your hands behind your back and interlace them if you're able. And just open up your chest. So really pull your arms back and down and open your chest. If that's difficult on your shoulders, take your strap and do the exact same thing and open up your chest. Those of us, which is most of us these days, sit at a computer. You just keep holding that stretch for a moment. Sitting at a computer all day, our chest is like this. So this is a really nice way to start the day, end the day, middle of the day, doesn't matter. Really open that chest up without letting your hips come with you. You want to keep the hips tucked in. A couple of breaths there. One more. Exhale, let that go. And now we're going to do some shoulder rolls from mountain pose. So we're just going to roll the shoulders back and down on the back and up and forward. Back and around. Just really loosen up the shoulders for today's practice. And a couple more times in the other direction. Rolling forward. Really just loosen them up. This can be very loose and just whatever feels good in your body. And from here, let that go. We're going to shake that out. Grab your blocks if you've needed them before, because we're going to be doing some forward folding. Put the blocks on the level that you need. And here we go. We're going to inhale, reach up toward the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, fold forward, fold in. Let your head dangle. You can have a bend in your knees if you need to, a little or a lot, whatever is best for you. Inhale, get a halfway lift. We've been here before. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Straight back, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Once more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Just really warming everything up. From here, we're going to stand up in the mountain pose. Bring your arms up overhead. And exhale, back to mountain. From here, we're going to do a little side stretch. Similar to what we did the other day. But in this one, we're going to take our right hand down our right leg. Standing with our feet hip distance apart. Bring your left arm up and over. And just tilt yourself over. Nice side stretch. Exhale and come back up. And the other side, left arm down your left leg, right arm up and overhead. Stretch over to that side. Exhale and release that. Now we're going to get into a couple of new poses today. Don't worry. We're going to still go gentle on you. So from here, and you might need your blocks still. I'm going to get my blocks out of the way, but if you need them, continue to use them. So come back into mountain pose, feet hip distance apart, arms at your side. We're going to breathe in, reach up. And we're going to exhale, fold in, fold forward. Inhale and halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, rise back up. Arms touch the hands touch the sky. Exhale, bring your arms back down to your sides. From here, we're going to step back with our right foot into Warrior One. And as you can recall from the last two videos, Warrior One, his hips are squared toward the front of the room. Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Arms up straight, long and nice and tall through your spine. Breathe here for a couple of deep breaths, in and out through your nose or your mouth. Left leg is bent. And from here, we're going to exhale and open up into Warrior Two. So you're just going to adjust your stance, bring your right foot back behind you, and now you're going to line up your heel to arch. Left heel to your right arch. Bring those arms out nice and long and strong out in front of you. Left leg is bent. Standing nice and tall in Warrior Two. And from here, we're going to introduce Reverse Warrior. So you're going to take your right hand, or left hand, I'm sorry, flip it over. Take your right hand down your back leg and exhale and bring it back over. So your left hand is coming back over. You're side bending. Open in this nice left side. Side bending over to your right leg. Hold that for just a moment, keeping your front knee bent, your left leg. From here, we're going to exhale back into Warrior Two. And then we're going to do what is called side angle. So taking your left elbow or forearm down to your left leg, keeping your legs in Warrior Two. Now your right arm is going to come up and overhead the best you can. It might be here or it could be here. What you're going for eventually is to try to spiral your chest open and out to the side or even up toward the sky. That will come with time. Keeping this knee in line with your foot. In the same direction as your foot, I should say, not over your foot. Looking up for a couple of deep breaths. Now we're going to inhale and return back to Warrior Two. So we're going to flow between those three poses for a couple of rounds. So on the inhale, we're going to inhale, get tall in our Warrior Two. Exhale, we're going to reverse warrior, bringing the left arm up overhead, bending backward, going back to the right leg. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale back into Warrior Two. Inhale and exhale into side angle, dropping that left forearm onto your leg, your left leg, and bringing your right arm up and overhead. Deep breath in here. Exhale into Warrior Two. All right, let's do it again. Inhale again. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Warrior Two. Once more. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, side angle. You should be feeling that front leg for sure. And inhale up to Warrior Two and release, straighten that front leg, release that for a moment. Step forward into mountain. All right. From here, we're going to do what's called a vinyasa flow, or we're going to do plank and downward dog. You're welcome to skip any of this if you'd like to, and you can always just stay in mountain pose. But for those of you who want a little bit stronger, we're going to go with that. So from here, we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Going to halfway lift. And then we're going to step back into plank or modified plank, depending on where you are today. So plank is here, modified plank is here. Inhale here, and on the exhale, come forward, tucking the elbows in towards your body, and slowly lower down to the ground. Untuck your back toes. Keep your hands at your chest level. And inhale into any amount of cobra. It can be baby cobra. It can be further up. You can also bring your hands out to the side and bring yourself up here. So nice, big, deep inhale in cobra. And then from here, push back onto your knees. Front hands will still be down. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So lift your hips up and pedal your legs out. Breathing deep here for 3 nice cleansing breaths before we do the other side. Hips up toward the sky. Straighten your legs out if you're able to, or keep a bend in the knee. From here, we're going to look forward. We're going to walk forward on our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. And inhale, rise all the way back up. Hands reaching for the sky. Exhale into mountain pose. All right, we're going to do that same series now on the left side. So here we go. Going to take your left leg back into warrior 1. Hips will be squared toward the front of the room. Bring your arms up. Inhale, nice and deep here for a couple of deep breaths. Making sure your right leg is bent and your knee is not tracking over your toes. Should be right above your ankle. One more nice deep inhale and exhale. And now we're going to open up into warrior 2 on this side. So bring your left leg back. Right leg is forward now. Right leg is bent. Heel to arch alignment. So your right arch is intersecting your left. Say that wrong every time. Your right heel is intersecting your left arch of your back foot. Back foot is nice and stable and strong and straight. Bring your arms out in front of you to the sides. And inhale here for a couple of deep breaths. One more. Now, flip your right hand over, upside up. And bring your left arm down your left leg and your right arm up and overhead. So you're in this nice side bending. Deep breath here. Exhale. Inhale, come back up to warrior 2. And from here, exhale into your side angle. So bring your right forearm down to your right knee or thigh. Left arm up overhead. Deep breath in here. In and out. And now inhale, come back up to warrior 2. So now we're going to flow between those a few times. So inhale, warrior 2, arms out straight. Exhale into a reverse. Bring your right arm up overhead and back. And your left hand is going down the back of your leg. Inhale, back into warrior 2. And exhale into side angle, bringing your forearm down your leg, left arm up overhead, excuse me. All right, inhale, come back to warrior 2. Do that again. Inhale here, stay for the exhale. And now inhale, reverse your warrior. Stay for the exhale. Inhale back into warrior 1. Exhale into side angle, bringing your left arm up overhead. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, back up to warrior 2. Now, straighten that front leg and step back into mountain pose. And we're going to do, again, what is called that vinyasa that we just did a minute ago with the plank and all that. So you can skip that if you'd like to. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, fold in. Halfway lift, inhale. And on the exhale, step back into either modified plank or full plank. This one I'll show you the modified. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Untuck your back toes. Hands at your chest level. Inhale into cobra. And then we're going to exhale back into downward facing dog. Right. Raise those hips up toward the sky. Pedal legs out if you need to. 3 nice cleansing deep breaths here. On your next exhale, look forward and step your feet toward the front of the mat. Walk your feet forward best you can. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way up, bringing your hands up toward the sky. And exhale into mountain pose. Now, for a longer class, we would probably go through that series on each side maybe a couple more times, but I'm trying to keep these classes at about 30 to 35 minutes because most people, when they're starting out, need the shorter classes, and maybe you want a longer class. So if you'd like to, you can always pause this video and go through that whole thing again if you wanted to. That's an option. But for today, we're going to move on to our balancing pose of the day, and today we're going to do tree once more. In video number 4, I'm going to introduce a new balance pose, but I wanted to give you time to really explore tree pose because I think it's a great foundational balancing pose. So for those of you who are ready to go into it, go right into tree pose on the right side, bringing your right leg. So we're going to take our right leg out to this, turned out to the side, and you come into your variation of tree pose using the wall. You can either lower shin, mid shin, or all the way up into your upper thigh. Remember, never the knee. That's important. Bring your hands together. And here again, find your gaze. Practice with different arm variations. If you've mastered the balancing at different levels, then try bringing your arms in different places. Another thing you can do, bring an arm down and you can actually side bend while you're in this pose, which is adding a challenge to it if you'd like to go there. So there's lots of things you can do with tree to continue to progress that pose. Stay here for a couple of nice deep breaths. Standing tall, sway in the breeze if you need to, like a tree. If you fall out, come back in. One more deep breath in, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, let that go. All right. And now we're going to do, sorry, I've got leaves all over my mat. All right, and now we're going to do tree on the other side. So turn your left leg out and come into your variation of tree. Again, ankle at the lower shin, mid shin, or all the way up to the upper thigh, not on the knee. Find your steady gaze. My pants are a little bit slippery today. Bring your arms up if you'd like, leave them to your sides, or you can bring them up to the sides and bring your left hand down to your leg and sway over to your left. If you feel like advancing, if you want to move on with this. Move to another variation, challenge yourself in this balance pose. Stay here and have a few deep breaths, in and out. Feeling strong and stable like a tree, and yet flexible. In our world, we need both. We need strength and stability, but we also need to be able to be flexible with whatever life may throw at us. One more nice deep breath in. Reach if you're reaching up. Exhale and let that go. Nicely done. All right. I'm going to come down seated next into bound angle pose. So we've done this one before, but this one, you can either have your legs further out or closer in. You're sitting with the soles of your feet together. And from here, if you're really rounded in the back, then stay upright. And you're going to work on trying to upright your back more. If you are already upright, again, you can have a blanket underneath of your seat. You're going to fold forward any amount that feels good for you. And again, your feet can be further out or closer in. This is a nice opener for your groin area. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here, in and out through your nose. Really savor this pose for a moment. We're going to wind down the class a bit after that nice flow between poses. So keep breathing. And so far, for those of who may be wondering, These classes have been kind of a mix of what would be called hatha, or some people call it hatha, and a vinyasa class. So we're not doing all flow, because I think for a beginner it's best to learn the poses and then kind of learn how you are linking those. So when we did, we'll come up and I will explain here in a minute about the 3 we did in a row. Come back up. Now we're going to do a seated twist. So what we're going to do, you can either just sit cross-legged like we've done before, like such, or we were in that bound angle pose. What you can do, if you're able and it doesn't bother your knee, take your left knee and turn it back. Now, if this bothers you, then don't try to do it. You're going to get the same benefit whether you do this pose this way or not. So you can sit seated and it will be just fine. We're just going for a twist anyway. And then take your right foot, and that's going to kind of press lightly into the top of your knee and your top of your thigh. So it's just a different way to sit. But again, if this isn't comfortable, then don't try to sit this way. And from here, we're just going to twist. So we're going to take our left hand to our right knee, right hand behind us, and twist back. And we're going to breathe here deeply for a couple of breaths. So in today's class, we did a warrior 2, a reverse warrior, and a side angle. And you can go ahead and keep looking over your left shoulder. I'm going to look at you for your right shoulder, excuse me. I'm going to look at you. And we did that to kind of introduce how you would link some of these, you'll link your poses with your breath and the poses together. So that was just kind of a little introduction of how that flow can go. We also went slower. We're going to release and come over. We're going to do the opposite side now. So take your right hand to your left knee and your left hand behind you. Sitting tall and breathing in and out. So vinyasa flow doesn't always have to be a fast flow. It can also be a nice slower, almost a meditative flow. And some people who practice yoga find that to be even more challenging than the quicker flow, because to slow down, it's harder. You got to hold the poses longer. That can definitely be harder. All right, let's release back to the front. And now we're going to come back into bound angle. Soles of feet together. And again, we're going to come forward any amount. And you may find you can come forward a little bit more after that first round that we did. If not, stay upright. If your back is really, really rounded in this pose, you're better to stay here and work on getting that straight spine. This will come over time. It also helps the further out your feet are, usually the more you can come down. So that's another tip. From here, we're going to come up, and now we're going to do the twist to the other side. So you can either sit in your cross-legged position, or from bound angle, take your right leg, bend it behind you, as long as it doesn't hurt your knee. Take your left foot and close that gap. So now you've got this nice little shape. So you've got your left foot is in contact with your thigh and your knee. From here, right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you, and twist over to the left. Breathing in and out, nice and deep. One more, and now we're going to exhale and come over to the other side. So your left hand will go to your left knee, right hand will go behind you, twist to your right. Just a nice little counter twist. Couple nice deep breaths here. All right, and release that. We're going to come back into bound angle one last time. And again, we're going to either stay upright if we need to, or fold forward any amount. And again, see if you're able to come a little bit further down. If you're not, don't push it and don't fret over that. Just notice where you are. And it might even be a millimeter. But in yoga, we get excited when we can go a little bit further. Start to feel that opening. All right, we're going to come back up. And now we're going to lay down on our backs. I'm going to take the ponytail fan out. And from here, you may need your strap again. Some of you may need this, and some of you may not. We're going to introduce another pose. And this one's called Happy Baby. And if you've ever been around a baby, you've seen them do this. So what we're going to do, we're going to have our feet on the floor right now. Our backs are into the mat. Shoulders are on the mat. We're going to bring our legs in, and you can either grab your shins. What you're going for is to have your feet facing up toward the sky, pulling the knees down as much as you can without overstraining. So you can grab a hold of your shins. You can grab a hold of your hands if you're able. If that is difficult, you can also take a strap around your feet, and you can be here. So whatever works for you, this is called Happy Baby. So hang on to wherever is best for you. Again, shins are a great place to be. Some of us, we all have different body proportions. So some of us just have shorter arms. I mean, you can't really change that. So if you're unable to reach up here, it may just be not because you're tight. It might be because you have shorter arms. So don't worry about that. So this is Happy Baby. Feet pointed up toward the sky. Knees are kind of pointed toward the ground. And you can even rock that baby if you'd like to, going from one hip to the other. This is just a fun pose because you remember maybe, we don't remember when we're babies, but maybe you do, or maybe you have seen babies doing this. And of course, they're able to put their foot in their mouth. And as we get older, we are not able to do that. Another nice couple of deep breaths in and out here. Letting your practice kind of go as you're in this nice pose. All right, release your feet down, And now we're going to come into moving bridge. So it's very much like we've done before. I'm going to move down a little on my mat. Soles of the feet on the ground. Arms to your sides. Feet will be hip distance apart. And we're on the inhale. You're going to lift your hips and your arms at the same time overhead. Any amount. So you don't have to bring your hips as high up. Maybe you keep them lower. And then we're going to exhale and bring the arms and the hips down together. So we'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, arms and hips up. Exhale, release your arms and your hips back to the ground. Twice more. Inhale, hips up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms and hips down. Once more. Inhale, hips and arms up. Exhale, bring that all down. And now we're at our favorite pose of the day, or at least for a lot of us, Shavasana. So this is your final relaxation pose. And don't be tempted to turn the video off and skip this pose. This is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, one of the most important poses. So stretch those legs out long on the mat, or if it bothers your back, keep your knees bent and just let them kind of have your feet the width of your mat and let your knees knock in. Whatever's most comfortable. Take that eye covering if you have it. Cover your eyes. Let your hands flop out to the side and just drop into this space. Just let everything that you've done today kind of wash over your body. How does everything feel? Do you feel more open? Do you feel more spacious?